The Niners made a huge move this offseason, moving off their longtime tackle, Mike McGlinchey, and moving on to Colton McKivitz. And Colton McKivitz is a widely unknown asset, and the Niners picked him with a late round draft pick. So many people thought the Niners would pick up a proven tackle via free agency or even through the draft, but that doesn't look like it's the case. The draft came and went, and while the Niners picked up Joey Fisher as an undrafted free agent, he's more like a guard. So right now it appears that the job is Colton McKivitz, and even Chris Forrester came out and basically said that he went up to Colton McKivitz and reassured him that he's the front runner, saying how important it is to have a confident tackle, or really a confident offensive lineman at all. They did the same thing to Aaron Banks, and this is where I draw my parallels to. A lot of people were saying the same things when Aaron Banks had to step up for left guard, or even Jake Brendel at center, and you could argue to some degree of Burford at right guard. They all said that the plan would fail because these are unknown assets, and the Niners don't really know what they're doing at the offensive line. But in each instance, they proved to be thoughtful decisions and well thought out decisions. Banks proved to be an extremely well-rounded guard and will be a part of the Niners for years to come. And Burford, especially this year, looks much bigger and looks to take on the job of the right guard. And in this instance, simply put, I don't think that the Niners are going to experience that big of a drop-off moving on from Mike McGlinchey to Colton McKivitz. Colton McKivitz is an extremely strong run blocker, and while he may not be as strong as Mike McGlinchey, he may fare better in the pass game where McGlinchey struggled at times. In this video, I hope to go over how Colton McKivitz has impressed so far during minicamp, and also I would like to go deeper into McKivitz's background, and finally conclude with talking about how Colton McKivitz made it into the NFL through the NFL draft, some of his combine testing scores, and how he looks to fit for the Niners offense moving forward. So how has McKivitz fared so far this offseason? And honestly, it's been pretty impressive. He's held his own against the pass rushers the Niners have thrown at him, including Drake Jackson, Kerry Hyder, Clelin Ferrell, and pretty good at regularity. I mean, it's going to get tougher as the season goes on, but this is definitely a good starting point for McKivitz, who looks to anchor down the right side of the Niners offensive line. McKivitz also demonstrated a good ability during run blocking and pass protecting during his limited opportunities at the NFL level so far. With that being said, let's dive a little bit deeper into McKivitz's football background, starting in his days in Ohio, where as a senior, McKivitz was named first team All-Ohio. And even his high school retired McKivitz's jersey number in 2019. He was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school where he played offensive lineman primarily. And eventually, McKivitz did decide to go to West Virginia from college, where he played from 2015 all the way to 2019. Throughout McKivitz's college career, it was evident that he was an extremely strong run blocker and dominated his competition at a regular basis. So let's go over some of his measurables at the combine. He ran his 40-yard dash in 4.35 seconds, but did have an impressive 10-yard split of 1.8 seconds. His height was 6'6", and his weight was 310 pounds about. Coming out of college, many scouts viewed McKivitz as a developmental prospect with below average arm length, but above average nastiness. Ultimately, McKivitz did need to use this nastiness to break his way onto the NFL scene as a starter. But let's go over some of McKivitz's starts up to this point in his career. McKivitz made his first start on November 29th, 2020, lining up at right guard and playing all 72 snaps of the 49ers offensive snaps in a 23-20 win over the LA Rams. During this game, McKivitz demonstrated an ability to be effective in the pass and run game despite playing out of position. Since then, McKivitz has played in spot duties here and there, and it's been relatively uneventful with him playing. And that's a great thing for an offensive lineman whose job is to make life uneventful for the quarterback and running back. I foresee McKivitz stepping into the starting right tackle job and performing extremely well and maybe even boosting the Niners' pass offense. This is great considering really the whole NFL goes through the pass offense now, and McKivitz could be a nice addition there. But these are just my thoughts on McKivitz performing admirably up to this point in minicamp and the Niners offseason. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on the Niners starting McKivitz rather than picking up a free agent or even drafting a guy. It would also mean a ton to me if you liked and subscribed.